Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Reggie from Reggie's World, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. We're not going to be traveling across the globe today. Today we're going to be staying home and cooking some gumbo. Yes, you heard that right. So many of my friends, church members, lots of folks are always like, Reggie, can you tell me how you make your gumbo so good? Can you make me some gumbo? Well, scrap all that. Today I'm going to make an entire video and show you exactly what to do step by step to make some of the most delicious gumbo you've ever had. And yes, it is a traditional Simon family secret recipe, so feel honored that I'm sharing this with you, okay? All right, so come on to my kitchen. Let me show you exactly what you need to make this gumbo. All right, so when you get started, you want to make sure you have all your ingredients. You're going to need, of course, the Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity in gumbo or any Cajun or Creole dish is celery, onions, and bell pepper. So you want to make sure you have all those ingredients, and basically you're going to chop them up real fine. I use a Ninja, and I just pulse them in there until they're really fine, and I use it that way. Otherwise you're going to be chopping for hours. All right, you're going to have your meats, of course. For mine, I'm using smoked sausage, chicken. I use a mixture of chicken thighs and chicken breast. I'm using crab meat as well. And those are the meats that we're going to have. And then we're also going to have some bacon here. The bacon is not actually going in the gumbo, but the bacon, we're going to use the grease, the fat rendered from the bacon to make the roux. And the roux is very, very important. And what we're going to do here, we're going to do a special roux. You've probably heard of using oil and flour. Well, this secret roux is really what makes the gumbo. We're going to use a mixture of butter and a mixture of vegetable oil and also some of the bacon fat as well. And so we're going to use that, heat that up, and then we're going to put a cup of flour into that and stir it until it turns to a dark chocolate color. And that's how you get a really, really good roux. All right, and so some other ingredients we're going to use okra. I get it already cut because who wants to sit there and chop up okra? I mean, really. So we're going to use that. We're going to use a little bit of thyme as well. And that's really it. Oh, also, we're going to use shrimp. You're going to use shrimp. You want to get a large shrimp or jumbo. You know what they say, it ain't gumbo if the shrimp ain't jumbo. All right, so those are our ingredients, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make the roux. The bacon is already cooking, and when that's done, I'm going to go ahead and add the butter and the oil and then the flour. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and chop up some of this chicken. But first, I'm going to wash it off and make sure it's nice and clean. This is a mixture of the thighs and the breasts here. I know some of you probably say, you don't have to wash your chicken first, but I'm going to stick with washing chicken first. Some people believe, oh, it's just going to cook and kill the germs anyway, but I don't know, it's just habit. You know? Just give it a good rinsing. Discard that water. And take it straight to the chopping board. And when you're chopping, especially the thighs, you're going to notice some fat on there. You just want to get rid of that. Cut that fat off and discard it. Otherwise, it's going to start floating in your gumbo. And you can pick it out then if you like to, but I just like to get as much off as I can in this phase.
My babe, I know she love me, my babe. Oh yes, I know she love me, my baby. Oh yes, I know she love me. She don't do nothing but kissing, hugging me, my baby. True little baby, my baby.
Alright, so now that we got the chicken all cut up, next thing we're going to do is go ahead and season it with a little bit of salt and pepper and some Cajun seasonings. Personally, I use Tony Chachere's, but you can use whatever Cajun seasoning you like. You don't want to go too heavy on the salt, just a little bit. Alright. And some pepper here as well.
My baby don't stand no cheating,
Alright, so that's what I use, Tony Chachere's. Just put a little bit in there. And just give it a little bit of a toss. Set it to the side. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to chop up some sausage, just like we did the chicken. Rinse this off real quick. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and chop up the sausage, and then after that we'll be ready to go ahead and start with the roux. And this is just a little hack I do. I just line them all up and cut this way so it saves time instead of going down each individual leek. Much quicker. When cooking gumbo, you want to be as efficient as possible with your time and your energy because it takes a long time to cook a little pot of gumbo. Like that, we're almost done. But here's what you do in the Creole town. Just let your bonton roulette and let the mule roulette. Now don't you be no bully. You let the bonton roulette. You find your girl and you hand her a line, and everything is going mighty fine. You can take her to the la-la, yes, that's true, but you'll have to take a mother and the children too to let the bonton. Be careful when you're doing this. You don't want to hit your finger. I made the mistake one time. It is not fun. All right. So we've got our chicken cut up, we've got our sausage cut up, and the next thing we're going to do is the roux. In Cajun cooking, they always say, first you start with the roux. And that's true for a lot of dishes, but especially gumbo. Without a roux, your gumbo's... Alright, so here we go with the roux. Alright, so for the roux, as I mentioned, we're going to do a special roux. You probably won't see this on any recipes online. This is our own secret roux, so I'm going to show you how to make it. You're going to use a cup of flour. Push it a little bit off really good. Alright, set that aside. And we're also going to use a cup of oil, but we're going to use half a cup of this type of oil, vegetable oil blend. Alright. And we're also going to use half a cup of butter. So it's going to be a 50-50 mixture of butter and regular oil. Alright. You're going to drop that in your oven, in your skillet. Mix it together. And also don't forget the baking grease is also in there too. From earlier. The baking grease is still there. Alright. Grab a wooden spoon. You're just going to stir it a little bit until it becomes uniform. Homogeneous mixture is what it's called in chemistry. Everything is evenly dispersed throughout. And once it reaches that state, we're going to go ahead and put our flour in there. Now, when you're doing this, make sure that you have your trinity already chopped up and ready to go, okay? Because the way you stop the roux from cooking is you pour in your trinity into the mixture, and that stops roux from cooking. If it overcooks, your whole pot of gumbo is going to be ruined. So this part is the single most important part of cooking the whole gumbo. You got to get the roux right, okay? And the reason why we use that bacon fat in there is because it basically amplifies the flavor throughout the entire dish. It won't taste like bacon, but it just gives it that extra zing, you know? And we're going to put this on high.
Take it easy, Grizzly, cause you got a long way to slide. Well, she pulled the shades and turned the lights down low and said, come on, Daddy, let's rock and roll some more. I said, take it easy, Grizzly. Take it easy, Grizzly. Take it easy, Grizzly, cause you got a long way to slide. Yeah, go, cat!
Once everything is melted, we're going to go ahead and add our flour in. The butter is almost there. We almost have a uniform mixture. You're going to see bubbles at the top. That's fine. That's typical with butter or any dairy product that you heat at high temperatures. So don't mind that. After you add the flour and you start stirring it for a while, it's going to all become uniform. Bubbles will go away. It's going to be a silky, chocolatey looking mixture. When you get that nice dark brown color, that's when you're going to go ahead and put in your trinity to stop it from cooking. Alright, so now we're ready to go ahead and add our flour to the mixture. Now at this point, it is very, very important that you stir continuously. You cannot stop here, you cannot take a break, you cannot go to the bathroom, you cannot go change the TV channel. You have to stand here and stir this until you get your nice chocolate color. It's gonna be lumpy at first, but you just gotta slowly stir. It's gonna slowly dissolve into the mixture, okay? Consistency is key here. Whatever you do not stop stirring, because even the slightest stop in stirring will cause a portion of this to burn, and it will ruin the entire dish, and your entire gumbo will taste burnt. So don't do that. So the color is slowly changing to brown. We're halfway there. Pretty soon it'll be a nice dark brown. The bubbles are pretty much gone away. It was quite a bit foamy a minute ago, but the foam has gone away, and that's normal. So when you see foam, don't be alarmed. It'll go away. It's just oxidation occurring and forming bubbles. And the heat will actually get rid of that. So just keep on stirring. Now, as you're cooking this, guys, make sure you have your Trinity ready to go, because at that point where you get to the perfect chocolate color, the way you stop this roux from cooking and the potential of burning is to instantly throw that Trinity into the roux. You're gonna hear a lot of sizzling, a lot of shh, and that's perfectly fine. That's what you want to hear. That means you're doing the right thing when you hear that. And we're almost there. We're almost to the perfect color of chocolate to proceed with the gumbo. All right, folks, we have arrived to Gumbo Land, the promised land. Not quite, we still got a long ride to go. But we're gonna go ahead and stop this roux from cooking. We're gonna go ahead and start at our Trinity to it. And that is perfectly normal. You wanna hear all that sizzling and popping and cracking and all that good stuff. And it's gonna get real thick and clumpy, and that's perfectly normal. That is totally fine. This is what's gonna give your gumbo, of course, flavor and texture. That mixture is gonna thicken the gumbo and make it nice and just give it that body. Because without this, you're basically just eating soup. You know, without a roux, you're just eating like soup with sausage and chicken in it. And what fun is that? If you want that, get some chicken noodle soup. All right, so to this, we're gonna go ahead and add some of our seasonings. We're gonna add some thyme to this, about a tablespoonful. A few bay leaves. Some garlic powder. Tony Chachere's.
I'm going down in Louisiana.
All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to transfer our roux mixture over to the pot. But first, we're going to transfer all this chicken and sausage and get it to sizzling first. Put your little bit of oil in your pot and turn it on medium heat. And go ahead and add your chicken to it. Get that going. Give it a nice stir. just brown a little bit. It doesn't have to be cooked all the way. And you can actually dump your sausage in there with it. It's all going to cook together. This is the tricky part. I always drop sausage here, but let's see if I can get it in this time. Woo. Come on. There we go. Yes. Nothing but net, baby. Whoa. Bingo. Bam. All right. So we're going to get that going. Turn the heat up a little bit. Let it get nice and brown. Now, while that's doing this thing there, got a can of tomatoes, crushed tomatoes. We're just gonna mix it into our roux. Give it a nice stir. And it's okay if it's not mixed together here, that's fine. It's all gonna go in the same pot and mix up together. And it's all gonna cook together. Alright.
Well, I'm a candy, buzzing around your eye. Well, I'm a candy, buzzing around your eye. Well, I can make honey, baby. Let me come inside.
Alright, so next what I'm going to do is to our chicken and sausage mixture. It's browning quite nicely here. Give it a quick stir. Go ahead and dump some okra in there. That's pretty. And also I'm going to go ahead and add our crabbies. Our Krabby Patties. Put them in there. And this is really just to give it a nice, rich seafood flavor. You don't need a whole lot of crabs to do that, just enough to change the taste a little bit. Alright. Alright, and so now what we're going to do is the tricky part. We're going to go ahead and transfer over our roux mixture. And I'm going to first take off a few cups manually so it doesn't spill. As such.
Want you to be my queen. Well, I'm a candy. Want you to be my together we can make honey.
Alright, now I can go ahead and transfer the rest. Alright, so now that we've transferred that in, I'm just going to mix it all together. And it's going to be very pasty, and that's totally normal because we have not added our stock to it yet, okay? So once we add the stock, that's when it's going to make the actual gumbo. Right now, this is just a concoction of everything, all the ingredients mixed together. And we just want to make sure we get it as uniform as possible. Give it a good stir. Let everything touch each other and let all those flavors come together. Now, the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and add our stock to it. Some people make their own stock. I typically prefer to use bone broth. This stuff is really good. Gives it a nice, good flavor. My hands are wet, so it's a challenge to open this thing, but there we go. Pour that into the pot. Do one more can of this.
Water was coming in my door. Early one morning, water was coming in my door.
All right, now that this is in, now we're gonna just kind of stir it a little bit nice and slowly. We don't want to splash it around. We're just gonna stir it nice and slowly. Make sure your heat is on high because we want this to come to a boil. Okay. So we're gonna stir it. Let everything come together, nice and slow. Look how colorful that is. There's so many layers of color and flavor. Green, red, orange, crabs. Alright, so let that come together real good. And so now we're going to make sure we have the heat on high, and we're going to just sit back and wait and let it come to a boil. And so guys, that's really it for the gumbo. At this point now, it's just a matter of waiting and stirring. You're gonna let this cook for about a good hour, stirring it occasionally every now and then, and after then you should see a nice pot of gumbo coming together. It's gonna change in the consistency, and you'll be able to tell. Right now it's still kind of liquidy and soupy, but everything will kind of melt into the gumbo. You won't really see any okra pieces or any vegetable pieces. It all kind of just melts together after an hour or so. So just keep stirring it, and after it's come to a boiling point, reduce your heat to low and let it simmer. Don't leave it boiling. All right, so as we can see here, our pot of gumbo has finally reached a boil. Take a look at this. So what we're gonna do now is go ahead and turn down the heat, and also forgot to tell you guys about the shrimp. The shrimp will go in at the very last 10 minutes of cooking because you do not want the shrimp to shrivel up. They will actually get smaller with exposed heat. So I'm gonna go ahead and season these, finish peeling them, and in the last 10 minutes, I'll go ahead and add them to the pot of gumbo. All right, folks. Well, now we're at the promised land. The gumbo is finished. The shrimps have been added, they're cooked, and we have a final product. So check it out. So all you need is some rice and some crackers, and you're good to go. Bon appetit. Enjoy.